I'm Kayla Miller, and this is my Professional Disposition of Learners video assignment. The purpose of this video is to reflect on the professional dispositions that I'm good at, those I need to work on, and also what standards, actions, and behaviors define a professional educator. So, two main beliefs that make up my philosophy of teaching are firstly that all children can learn, and secondly that it's my responsibility to always do what's best for kids. So I believe that two dispositions that I do possess that make me a good educator are high expectations and advocacy. I believe that if you set challenging but attainable goals and just beyond the comfort zone of my students, then they will rise to the expectations and be successful, not only academically but socially and behaviorally. I have high expectations for myself, making sure that what I do is data-driven and individualized, and I'm constantly adjusting what I'm doing to be what that student needs at that time. And I also have high expectations for others. I don't allow people to say that my students are bad students, or that my students can't do something because of whatever excuse. They can, they do, and they've just made poor choices. They are not bad kids. Secondly, advocacy. I'm always striving to get to know my students and their families better. It's important to build that trusting, respectful relationship so I can be the best advocate that I can. But it's also not about solving problems for them. You know, it's taught to me that once that the only person that can change your life is you, and I try to do that or keep them safe until they are ready. I don't solve problems for them, but I'm helping them and guiding them and providing them with the tools, the grit and perseverance, and helping them with their resilience and problem-solving skills and social skills so they can make those types of changes. As an advocate, I also need to be constantly finding ways to understand the issues that are facing them. So it's important that I'm involved not only in school level committees, where I'm on FAC and the leadership committees, but also in the district where I'm involved in equity committees and curriculum committees, and also I am the association rep for my school. So that way I can always be the best advocate that I can for them. So two dispositions that I feel I need to work on so that I can grow as an educator are professionalism and honesty. Within professionalism, I really need to work on my organization skills and promptly completing tasks. I always want everything to be perfect. I'm probably my strongest critic, and so sometimes that leads to a type of perfection procrastination as I struggle to get everything right. So within honesty, thinking about that, I believe that using student input to make decisions is something I need to work on. I'm always consciously working on adjusting my teaching and studying the data and doing what's best for the kid and providing feedback and working with other members of the team and trying to do what's best. That sometimes I forget that, you know, the kids need to be involved in that decision making. So that is something that I try to be very aware of, but I'm not quite there yet. So as far as how a professional educator looks and behaves and what standards guide their thoughts and actions, I think that it's important. Professionalism is partly about how you look, is partly about, you know, whether you're neat and tidy, but it isn't a dress code. professionalism is about how you act. And I think as part of social justice and diversity and building those relationships in restorative practices, it's important that students realize that everyone is not a cookie cut model of each other. So if someone doesn't necessarily dress traditionally or doesn't look traditionally, then that's okay, because we're trying to get our students to challenge the status quo. And if everyone is the same and everyone just does the same thing, that's not supporting that belief. But obviously, you know, there are certain ways that people need to look, but I believe that that's really up to part of it's up to the person. So I think that some of the qualities that make up a good teacher, there's so many, and everyone is so different. Teachers, educators, their behavior, they need to, I think the main thing is to be firm but fair. They need to be composed and positive. They need to be lifelong learners, passionate, and problem solvers. And the standards they need to adhere to are not only those content knowledge and content standards, but also the code of professionalism and code of ethics and professional dispositions and any other thing that will help kids be successful. So I think the main thing in closing is that you need to find your purpose and your passion. My principal always says that we're not an alternative school, we're a school with alternatives. And I'm very honoured to be one of those alternatives. Thank you.